Welcome to the week ahead for financial markets. Delighted you could join us today for this meander into what's going to happen over the next few days so you can be better prepared. Let's look at our 5 key market moving factors we think may influence sentiment this week. And so we're going to start with the major indices. Markets are refusing to give up this year's gains. We are still toying with record highs. It was a slightly softer day on Friday. And of course, we've got the Labour Day holiday today, so we'll get some movement in the futures, but not in the major indices themselves. Interesting to see how investors return after the long weekend. Keep an eye on that. There is some significant data out towards the back end of the week, which is the non-farm payrolls, which was released on Friday. Of course, it is the first week of the month, so we'll have the ADP, the weekly jobs, and NFP. This jobs report feels as though it has more significance than it usually has, and not least because of what happened last month, where we had a major revision to the downside as well as a generally weak number. So markets are pricing in a further weakening of the labour market, and of course the potential influence that may have on actions from the Federal Reserve. Both geopolitical rumblings continue. There is little resolution in either the Middle Eastern situation and the Ukraine, with significant drone attacks from Russia to Kiev over the last few days. There are some suggesting that may further escalation in both of these situations. Despite some of the political narrative, there seems to be little that is getting in the way in both of these situations. Just keep an eye on any fallout from that. Of course, we did have a tariff ruling from the appeals court at the back end of last week suggesting that tariff implementation was illegal. Emergency powers shouldn't have been used to implement them. From Trump. The next step is unclear with this. My suggestion is it's not going to have a major impact for right now as the legal wranglings continue and tariffs continue unabated, of course. But just keep an eye on headlines relating to this. And finally, one chart to keep an eye on is Bitcoin. We talked about this last week. It still looks as though it's under pressure to some degree. Let's just check out the chart right now, and you can see there we have this potential test of around about 110,000, which has been breached towards the back end of last week. You can see this 200 MA sitting at around about 104, 106, 4,000 down from where we are right now. And a breach of that 200 MA would suggest that 100,000 is going to be tested again. So one to keep on your radar over the next few days, but certainly doesn't look as though there's much buying pressure going on, but perhaps sufficient to just keep it above that key psychological 100,000. One to watch. And so that's our 5 market moving things for this week. Remember, of course, we run live market updates on YouTube on Monday and Thursday. Of course, there's our Inner Circle session on Wednesday. It'd be great to see you at either of those if you can make it along. And of course, we're always here to help. So if you need us, give our support team a ring and we'll do what we can to make your trading life better. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a great week. Trade safe and see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.